Alright, this video is going to show you how to assemble your sides to your structure. First thing that you need to do is take your structure off the paper. Careful when you do this because it will crack, so if you start peeling it, and you can pull it and keep moving your hands forward so you don't end up wrecking the wood. And use your thumb on the balsa wood and kind of peel it off as you go. It should come off. If you rip it too fast, you're going to rip the wax paper off, which you're going to have to take off like that, and you also have a chance to break the wood. All the tape you want to take off also. If you got too much tape on there, or too much glue on the tape, try to get as much of the tape off as you can. Like right here, don't try to yank it. If it doesn't come, use an X-Acto knife and you can scrape it. Just push down on it and it will break off. Alright, so get all your tape off. And once you get all three sides, there's a little prep work you have to do before you glue it together. And that is if you did not clean up the glue on the outside edges. So we've got all of our pieces taken out. All of our sides are off the wax paper. And then anywhere that there is wood or a glue that's on the outside, you can either make sure you put it on the table, but you can take and cut down on it and get it so it comes off. And the other way is to sand it. So if it's not coming off that way, you can grab a sanding board like this and make sure you hold it down here, not up on top, because it's flimsy, it will break. So you got to hold it down where you're sanding. And you might have to have somebody hold that for you, but you can sand it back and forth. So have somebody hold, one of your partners hold the wood block, sanding block, and then you can sand your edges. But you want to get those nice and flat. Okay? Then the next step is that you're going to put them together. So what I would do is you're going to need some tape, and you're probably going to need about if you have a three-sided object, you're going to need about 6 pieces of tape. And I would rip them in half. They're about 1 inch long, and what I would do is I just stick them on here like this. And you don't want to have too much tape because you have to get the tape off of here. Okay, so I've got the tape on there, and then I'm going to take another side and I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to tape those together. And you want to make sure that your top and bottom is lined up. So this part here is lined up. And then we'll line this one up here. And then we're going to need 4 more pieces of tape. 2 for each side. And we're going to rip them in half. Put them on here. Put them on here. And at this point, for this one, I'm just going to put them on all at one time. So I'm going to put this underneath there, and I'll put this one here. Okay, so the tape's ready to go, and then all I need to do is take my next side, again line up the tops and bottoms, and slide these together. Tape them together. Now if you did it perfectly, they'll all be exactly the same height. Okay? If you didn't, like this side is a little bit higher than this, you could always take another piece of wood and put on there to even it out. Sometimes it doesn't work, but you can add some and subtract some just to make it flat. You want to get it kind of flat. If it looks okay and it's fairly close, you're not going to get them perfect, you can go ahead and glue this. Now, if you don't have a piece of wax paper, if they have holes in it, get a new sheet so it doesn't fall down on you. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the glue, and we're not going to glue the tape. So we're going to run a bead of glue along the edge here, and then we're going to take it off of there and then glue here and here. When you do this, I would use a glue bottle that has a tip. You're going to rotate it, and again you're going to glue. And you will get some of this glue to fall down. The main thing is that you get the seam covered. And at this point, then all you have to do is let it dry. You can let it dry while it's flat. If you happen to break a piece while you're taking the wax paper off, you can then glue it on there. You can lay it down here, and if I had this seam, I could put some glue on that seam. So you can either let it dry like that, or you can let it dry like this. Gravity is going to make it drop down, so either way you want to do it. I'm going to put mine this way so the glue stays flat. And then write your name on to the paper and put it back in the cap.